Howdy folks, TJ here. Time to play with the Speccy Next. And if you are a fan of text with some graphics adventure games or games, this video's for you because a gentleman, and I've got the printout over here, just posted in the Speccy Next Facebook group. His name is, I'm going to say Stefan Bylund, S-T-E-F-A-N, Stefan. It's got to be Stefan, right? Not Steven? Stefan? Okay. If you watch this video, correct me down below. I'm going to read off the post, and then we'll check out some of these games, because very quickly we now have 19 in total games that we can now enjoy because of this special interpreter, I'm going to call it for right now, that allows these games to work. Now, I will admit that I am not familiar with the company or group or whoever made level 9 games. I haven't heard of them before. Now, maybe there's some games that I'll start perusing that will ring some bells, but for me, I don't remember it. And to tell you the truth, I love Zork. I mean, Zork was an early game that was text only, and then I also liked moving. As text games advanced, they became text and graphics. And then you had the Myst. Myst was wonderful. It was text, it was graphics, it was moving graphics. It really was kind of like, a nice progression of text adventure games back in the day. So, but if I'm moving backwards in time, I am the type of video game person that enjoys quick in and quick out. And with text or any type of adventure game like this, it's hours, weeks, days of learning, like Zork, that you go through all these things. And I find myself, as I've gotten older, I just don't have the time to sit there and do it. So I don't know if I enjoy them as much. But needless to say, I'm sure there's thousands and thousands of people that love a good text graphic adventure game and are going to love what has come out. So let me read it for you. Again, Stefan Bylund posted, "I'm happy to announce that a porting of an open source level 9 interpreter is now available for the Spectrum Next. This interpreter supports all of level 9's games, 19 in total, uses the improved graphics from the Commodore Amiga and Atari ST versions of the games, and provides saving/loading of the game state to and from an SD card." Very cool. To make it easier to enjoy, a compilation of all level 9 games packaged appropriately for this interpreter has been provided. Let me close it. Okay, cool. Note that the level 9 games are copywritten by Level 9 Computing. This compilation is not official, and its curator is not affiliated with Level 9 Computing. The compilation is done in loving memory of the Level 9 and their classic masterpieces, and without any monetary gain involved. I have informal approval from Mike Austin, one of the Level 9 founders, for providing this game compilation, cool, for the Spectrum Next. Thanks, Mike, for making this possible. So it looks like they've been basically given approval. This interpreter now brings 19, I'm going to call it text adventure games, but there's graphics involved. Maybe there's a better word for that. Is there a proper word for text adventure game, but it's got graphics? I don't know. I'd have to read. So I will put the links down below where you can grab this. There's a GitHub site that has all of this, and you can download the compilation of Next games if you're a Speccy Next user. Let me turn off this screen and wake up my Next. Now again, off the names that I read, I don't quite remember Level 9. Now I don't know if this was popular overseas. It says Atari ST and Amiga, and I've owned the Atari forever. I just don't remember the names. Let's go to browser. Let's turn up the sound. Although, I don't think there's sound in these games, but maybe. I haven't seen any note of that. Games. I gotta do one thing. Oh, what the hell? No, I did it backwards. I'm turning off the sound anomaly that you get when you connect a external set of speakers, or some get it, to a Speccy Next. Browser. Next. So level 9, a whole directory I just slapped onto my Speccy Next SD card. So we've got Ingrid's back, Night Orc. Now I remember the name Night Orc. Was that a blue case, blue box? I don't know. For some reason, Night Orc rings a bell. Lancelot, Return to Eden, Scapegoat, Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, Snowball, Time and Magic, I remember, Worm in Paradise, Adventure Quest, Archers. That rings a bell. Archers. Colossal Adventure, that rings a bell. Dungeon Adventure, Emerald Isle, Eric the Viking, then just some MD file, Gnome Ranger, Growing Pains of Adrian Mole, and then back to the README. So let's go to one that I think I remember. Did I say I remember Time and Magic? No, let's do Night Orc. I think that was the first one. So Night Orc. So I'm just going to go in here. Now there's two versions of the games. A 256 version and a 512. Now let me, no, I've got the screen turned off. If I remember right, the 512 is the version of the picture that has the extra Speccy Next video capability, and then the 256 is not. So I'm going to go to the 512 and launch it. Night Orc from level 9. That's a pretty cool looking picture. Now why does that picture make me think of a pig? It looks like Miss Piggy from Kermit the Frog stuff, you know, Sesame Street. Okay, I guess I hit return. Okay, so welcome to Night Orc, copyright 1987 from Level 9 Computing and Rainbird. Now Rainbird rings a bell for me. Level 9, why is Level 9 not ringing a bell, but Rainbird does? Possibly in the USA, Rainbird. I seem to remember their name on games a lot. This version allows you to use RAM save and RAM restore to save a position in memory, and PS, oops, to take back bad moves. Grindel Guts struggle awake, groaning piteously. The world bucked and swayed. His headache was agony, and he ached in every limb. Grindel Guts' mouth tasted like a hobbit's armpit, and he seemed to have lost another tooth. He could not quite remember what happened after they captured the inn yesternight, but, and more, I'm guessing I hit space. Okay. He was sure it must have been fun. He moaned again and prepared to wallow in his hangover. So it looks like a picture of a knight. A sharp object stabbed at Grindel Guts' ribs again. Oh, interrupting his enjoyment of his misery, Grindel Guts' wrist ungluing one bloodshot eye and squinted at the world. A shaft of sunlight stabbed back. It was still light. It was very light. Some idiot had awoken him in the middle of the day. What now? I'm just going to type in... I'll be truthful. I played a brief session of Hobbit a number of weeks ago live on my channel. And it's been so long since I did text adventure games that I didn't read anything that I forgot what some key words. I mean, like E goes east and north for north, and look was a common one. So let's look. Okay, it did bring up something. You're in a dingy stable, a temporary building with canvas walls and lots of straw. An exit exists east. You can see the huge night. You, Grindel Guts, leap furiously at the jabbing figure beside you and discover, to your horror, that your legs are fastened to some huge animal. Oh, that's not good. To the shrill of sound of human merriment, you slide slowly around the horse to which you have been tied and hang helplessly below it. Oh, crap. He's going to be dragging his ass someplace. Your captors are dressed in a variety of styles, from long white robes to the full armor of a knight mounting another horse nearby. He catches your glance and curls his upper lip in disdain. You don't stand a chance, little man, he says, spitting contemptuously. Well, that's a hard word. I can't think why the orcs chose you as their champion. Lowering his visor, he rides out into the full sunlight. One of the robed figures hauls you back upright. jeering, "Go on, Sir Orc, you're next," and give your horse a prod with his spear, laughing as the frightened beast rears and bolts. What now? I remember something that said east, but if I'm tied up, I'm not going to be able to do much, right? Well, let's just hit E for east. You bravely charge the knight. The knight takes aim and whoomph! His lance meets your chest and you fall backwards, breaking your bonds. The crowd roars as you fall, stunned to the hard ground. Sometime later, you awake. Bruised and battered, but you must be still alive. At first, it seems to be night, but you gradually realize that you are buried. You are in a huge pile of garbage with other rubbish thrown away after the tournament. Exits lead downwards and outwards. So obviously he survived that little issue. Exits lead downstairs, and outside you can see putty knife and a hooded cloak. So there's a nice looking picture. That looks jolly. Let's say get putty knife, P-U-T-T, putty, K-N-I-F-E. You take the putty knife. What now? So we'll stop there. So it's a graphic adventure in the spirit of like The Hobbit, where you've got graphics and text. All these games are probably going to be like that, so I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. But if you are a text graphic adventure person, and you have the time, you're going to have probably a lovely time playing all these different games. I mean, there was oodles of them. 19. Ingrid's Back, never heard of it. Lancelot, Return to Eden. Scapegoat. I mean, what are all these things? Secret Diary of Adrian Mole. Let's go there. Okay, we'll go to the 512 version. Level 9 Interpreter for ZX Spectrum Next version 1.0.0. Welcome to the Secret Diary of Adrian Mole from Level 9 and Mosaic. If you are loading from tape and it's still running, stop the tape immediately. Thursday, January 1st, bank holiday in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. These are my New Year resolutions. This is different. I'd never seen this before. And it's got a picture of, what the hell is that? Like a paintbrush and a paint can and, I don't know. So I will help the blind across the road. I will hang my trousers up. I will put the sleeves back on my records. I will not start smoking. I will stop squeezing my spots. What the hell's that? I will be kind to the dog. Spacebar. There's some more. I will help the poor and ignorant. After hearing the disgusting noises from downstairs last night, I have also vowed never to drink alcohol. My father got the dog drunk on cherry brandy at the party last night. If the RSPCA heard about it, he would get done. Nigel's parents are... That's one name you don't find over in the USA. Nigel. Nigel's not very common in the United States. I don't know if anyone's ever been named Nigel. There's probably a few, because some of you folks came overseas to the United States in the early days, and there's probably some Nigels. But I've never had a friend named Nigel. Only Nigel I know is the one that worked at Sinclair. What was he? Vice president of something? He was up there. He was an upper status apparatus, right? Nigel. Sir Nigel. Is he a sir? Probably not. I know Clive was a sir. Nigel's parents are going to London for the weekend, so Nigel is throwing a party on Saturday night for 50 close friends. Nigel's parents don't know about the party. All guests must dress in black and head to toe, and all must bring a bottle. Choose one of the following for me. So this looks like a multi-choice random. You choose one, and it takes you through an adventure. Kind of like what I did as a kid. You get a book, and you say, go to page 6. And on 6, you would say something, and then go to page whatever. It's kind of in that spirit. Or Tunnels and Trolls, a adventure game that you roll the dice, and it would take you through, and you would follow through the book on whatever numbers it told you to go to. Choose one of the following for me. Ask my mother to buy a black outfit. Buy a tin of black dye. Oh, that's a cheap bastard for you. Nigel's a cheap bastard. Buy a can of black paint. So now I got to choose. So there's no cursor prompt. What am I going to do? Ask my mother to buy a black outfit? Being a cheap SOB, I don't want to buy anything. So I'm going to say 1. Oh boy. I asked my mother to buy a black outfit, black jeans, a black granddad shirt, a black vest, black underpants. Sounds like he's very Amish. And underpants and black socks. But she refused that. I was going to say the word bitch. That bitch. Is that okay to say? Okay, but she refused. I have never known such a stingy woman. With the following, which of the following should I do? So, buy a tin of black dye, buy a can of black paint, give the party a miss. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not boring. Now, thinking about if Mac's watching this for my Aquarius group, he says he doesn't play games. And I say, blasphemy, you don't play games. Even TJ plays games. It gives you an outlet to swear. And working on my Volkswagen, that's another outlet for me to swear. When I work on my Volkswagens and when I play video games. So I'm gonna buy, paint sounds very cakey and dye sounds better. I'm gonna spend a little extra. I'm guessing dye is more. So let's go to 1. I buy a tin of black dye, put white shirt, burgundy cords, gray socks, white plim soles, and blue underwear in washing machine, empty black dye into the machine. That sounds like it's going to be really messy. And close the porthole. Go away for an hour, come back to find clothes in machine have turned dark pink. Ah, shit. Bastard. The burgundy cords leaked their color. What shall I do? Hey, this is kind of fun. Especially when they're using words that I'm not used to. Here in the United States. I mean, I know what a porthole is, but I'd never call the hole in the dryer or washing machine a porthole. I would think a porthole is on a ship. But that's all right. Run back to the shop to buy another tin of black dye. Buy a can of black paint. I'm going to go for the paint. Let's go paint. I buy a can of black paint to paint everything with, paint plimsolls, jeans, etc., and leave on bedroom floor. Return to find the dog lying on top of them, unable to move because it's stuck to the paint. That's funny. Brutalize the dog. Shit, this dog is going through freaking hell. You folks overseas are mean to your dogs. What the frick's up with that shit? Brutalize the dog, then spend the next hour. I mean, I would kill a human before I kill a dog. There's lots of humans I can't stand. Animals are much nicer, in my opinion, than a lot of humans these days. Brutalize the dog, then spend the next hour pulling dog's hairs off the clothes with tweezers. Clothes stiff like plate armor. Friday, January 2nd, bank holiday. So it looks like I screwed up here. I feel rotten today. It's my mother's fault for singing my way at 2 o'clock in the morning at the top of the stairs, at the top of her voice. Just my luck to have a mother like her, that bitch. There is a chance my parents should could be alcoholics. Next year, I could be in a children's home. This is really depressing. Oh, look at that. There's a little heart up there with a shot arrow going through it. Saturday. So it's escalating through the day. So, you know what? This is kind of fun. I can see myself playing this just to find out how the dog fares. Screw the humans. Screw Nigel. I'm an Nigel, but screw him. Let the dog be better off. Hopefully something throughout the thing finds a better home for the dog. So let's try one more game. So that was kind of fun. Multi-choice. Never heard of that game before. And you just kind of are the foreteller of the story. That's kind of neat. Let's see. What should I check? Now, Dungeon Adventure. Let's do Dungeon Adventure. Eric the Viking. That sounds... Ooh, I'm having a hard time choosing. Let's try Eric the Viking, because I think I've heard of Dungeon before. Well, that's a pretty picture. Level 9 Interpreter, but it's a very blocky picture. It's not like the other ones. So, Level 9 Interpreter, welcome to the Saga of Eric the Viking from Level 9 Computing. What now? Look. Eric is in the mountainside. The only exit is down to a path. Down. Eric is on a path. Ooh, look at the path. Exits are west to a cart track and up to the mountainside. Okay, so graphic adventure game. I want to go with a look at Dungeon now. So needless to say, this is a lot of text adventure games. I like that multi-choice one better than these other ones so far. That's funny. Level 9, 256. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, see, I seem to remember this picture. So, cool. So we're going to stop. I'm not going to keep playing because you'll probably get bored. This is something, although I try to throw some fun into these videos with these type of things. Hopefully it makes it a little more fun. But anyway, right now you can grab for your Speccy Next 19 new games free, thanks to the original maker that gave verbal permission, Stefan Bylund, for this interpreter. And you can grab it. I'll put the link down below. So if you're into these kind of games and have time on your hand, go for it. I would say blow through them. And I'm kind of happy to have stumbled across this other game that's not a text adventure game, but a multi-choice. It's giving you the options rather than having to guess east, west, north. It gives you some set options, and I kind of like that for my brain wavelength. You choose whichever one, and it's going to take you through an adventure. I kind of like that. So, cool. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you, Stefan Bylund. Thanks to the original owner or co-founder, whatever, Level 9, that's given permission to make these compilation for us all in the next world. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your week. It's only Monday, so we've got a whole work week to go before we can do like Nigel was going to do, go to a party. Thanks for watching. Bye.